Good afternoon, racquetball fans. We are here at the 2015 Sonora Open, and we're very excited to be here for the final match between Polo Gutierrez and Jake Bredenbeck. I'm Laura McCormick, and with me today is WRT pro David Bobby Horn. Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me.
David's going to offer his pro analyzation while we're watching the matches today. So we have Jake Bredenbeck, who's ranked number 3 here on the tour, and he's also seeded number 3. He beat Jaime Martel and Andre Perea in the quarterfinals and semifinals to get here today. He's facing off against Polo Gutierrez, who faced off against Christian Longoria and David Bobby Horn last night in the semifinals. So that's kind of the path that these guys took to get here. We thank you guys for your patience. We know you've been waiting for the finals, so we're going to take it down to the court right now. These guys are ready to get started, and let's get this final started. David, any predictions going into the match right now?
As far as this match goes, I believe Jake has never
0-0.
beaten Polo, so right now Jake's got to really focus on executing his shots and making Polo move and taking him out of his comfort zone. Polo's the favorite here just because of that recent history. And Jake really needs to work on moving Polo around. I know I lost to the guy yesterday, and the only success I had was when I moved him around the court and
0-0.
Got him out of the middle.
This is the 2015 Sonora Open finals match between Jake Bredenbeck and Polo Gutierrez. Score is 0-0. And Polo will step in to serve.
Cambio 0-0.
That was definitely one thing I noticed last night, even as a novice, and for Longoria as well when he competed against Polo Gutierrez. If you let Polo stay in his comfort, he doesn't have to move. You kind of have to. You gotta tire him out and play some angles in order to get him out of his comfort zone.
He's very deadly from center court. He also has those pinch shots that a lot of the guys don't have. A lot of players in the entire world don't have. So he's an awkward player to play and very good.
Yeah, we've talked about his awkward grip before, you know, being a former tennis player. That makes it a little bit harder to read as well. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, absolutely. He has a different racket prep, different swing than most players.
Cambio.
Jake had an interesting path here. Started out a little shaky this weekend against Jordi Alonso in the round 16s. He lost the first game 15-6, which is unusual for Jake, but usual for Jake is once he gets in his comfort zone, he's in it. So he came back and killed it in games 2 and 3, which pushed him through to the quarterfinals against Jaime Martel, which was a pretty competitive battle as well, 15-9, 15-12. And then Andre Perea, who actually upset the number 2 seed, but Jake took him out in the semis last night.
Yeah, pretty routine tournament for Jake. He usually has a game or two where he drops and not playing that well, and then the rest of the tournament plays very solid. And obviously another final, great run for him so far, no matter what happens here today. You mentioned some tough matches for Jake early on against Andre Perea and Jordi Alonso, both young players, juniors, and really good. I know Jordi Alonso impressed me with his serve this tournament. Hope to see him at a lot of events here in the future.
Yeah.
Punto, 5
Polo with a
0.
5-point lead here in game 1 of the finals. As usual, Polo's outfit coordinated. Got the green, the shirt, the racket, and the shorts. It's a side out for Jake. What do you think Jake needs to do here? He's down 5. Is he feeling the pressure?
Yeah, I'm sure he has a little bit of pressure on him right now. Replay hinder. He definitely has pressure. I know that this match is going to dictate who finishes number 1 here after this tournament, and he wants it. I was talking to him last night, and he wants it very badly. He wants to say he's the best here. So.
Punto.
All right, there's a point for Jake.
1 sirve 5.
Another thing that we've been talking about all weekend and kind of hypes up this game is Polo and Jake right now are fighting for the number 1 rank on the WRT. Having Perea knock out Cardona took Cardona out of that running, so They're within about, I guess actually Jake's 140 points behind Polo. If he wins, he'll be 640 ahead of Polo. If he loses, he'll be 360 behind him. So very tight
5-1.
numbers here between 1 and 3 in this match.
This will be interesting going forward. We have a lot of events coming up in the next few months, and I have a feeling the rankings are going to switch up a few times before the end of these next 3 events after this.
No.
Talking about our next couple tournaments. So we're looking at the San Diego
Uno
Open
sirve
that's next
cinco.
weekend at the Sorrento Valley Fitness and Racquetball Center. And then after that, in February, we'll be in Seattle, Washington, followed by Pleasanton, California. So another 3 WRT events coming up here in January and February.
Wow, that was a really good shot by Polo. He hit that from about chest high and just flattened it out, and the ball rolls. It's that grip that he holds it, he puts some sort of spin on it that the ball flattens out even if he hits it from that high.
Punto.
Good serve called.
There's an ace for Polo.
6-1.
Ooh, tough break for Polo.
1-6.
It's a side out for Jake.
Punto.
And a nice point for Jake, getting some crowd appreciation there.
Yeah, Jake doing a good job. He's using that glass. I'm sure you've talked about it 100 times this tournament so far. That glass is tough to see if you bring a serve down that line real hard.
Punto.
Yeah, ball kind of gets lost in the crowd there. And we have a nice crowd here at the All Fitness Health and Gym in Hermosillo, Mexico. Crowd's really filling out, so it's got to be hard to track that ball all the way into the corner where the glass meets. Well, there I think you're proving the point. Jake needs to keep Polo moving in order to win rallies.
Another little fun fact that I learned last night at dinner was Jake found these yellow lenses. These gearbox eye guards with the yellow lenses that he says that helps him see the ball on the glass a little more. So he switched over those last night during doubles and said there's no chance he doesn't play with them today. Just kind of a fun fact.
Yeah, that's awesome. Side out for Polo.
If you guys are having trouble seeing the ball off of glass courts at home, make sure you go to gearboxrb.com and get yourself a pair right now.
Now, why would the yellow make a difference?
The yellow lenses brighten up everything. So when you have that crowd, it kind of just brightens up the background, and when you see the black ball in the yellow background, it's just a little easier to see.
Bredenbeck within 1 point of tying it up here. Looks like a short serve.
Short serve called. Jake doesn't look very happy with that. I think he thought that was a good serve. Very, very close.
Oh, that was interesting.
Cambio. 6-5.
Right, that corner giving Jake some trouble there twice in a row.
7-5.
Yeah, Jake's done a good job since he went down 5-0. Has Polo playing defense a lot. Unlucky point there that the ball just stuck on the sidewall. Great ceiling ball by Polo, and Polo's scored 1 point since the big run early on.
Punto.
Right, Polo with at least 2 in a row here.
8-5.
Nice shot from Jake.
5 sirve 8.
There's some serious determination on their faces right now in game one. Oh, oh,
Punto.
Good call by referee Javier Amar. Polo thought he had it. I thought the ball was passed. Very difficult call because Polo covers court very well.
getting a little crowded there in the middle right now, but some really big wind-ups from Jake. What's he looking for there?
Hinder called. I don't know about that call, but Javier Amar saw Jake in Polo's way.
Cambio. 8-6. Punto. 9-6.
Nice effort by Jake.
Punto.
That was a big rally, some hard swings there.
Tiempo fuera.
Yeah, tough rally as Polo calls a timeout.
And we're back here in game one of the Sonora Open between Polo Gutierrez and Jake Bredenbeck. We just put up a post on Facebook. We want to hear from our fans at facebook.com/World Racquetball. Who do you think is going to win this match? It's actually, I guess, sort of between USA and Mexico, although we have a mistake on our scoreboard there. But if Jake ends up taking the finals today, this will be the first time a USA player has been in the #1 position on the WRT.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Jake's one of my teammates on the USA team, and I really would like someone from USA to be in #1 on the WRT. I don't think it's ever happened before, so I'm a little biased on this match. I want Jake to do well.
Rooting for
Polo.
USA then?
Absolutely.
Who made it?
Punto.
Jake capitalizes on that setup there.
That was great work by Polo getting to some of those shots. Jake's pounding the ball as hard as he possibly can, trying to hit it 15 feet past the front wall, and Polo's just scrapping away to keep in every rally. It's an amazing shot right there, the wide angle, front wall, side wall caught in the air, right around his opponent, and almost ungettable.
Punto. 9-10.
All right, Jake creeping up the scoreboard now. 1 point away from tying it up.
Cambio. 10-9. Cambio. 9-10. Punto.
All right, that's going to tie it up here for Jake. 10-10 in our game one of our final match here this morning at the Sonora Open. Afternoon, rather.
Cambio.
It's a pretty good serve by Jake, just barely off the back wall. Against Polo, he can't leave
10,
that
10.
serve off the back wall. It has to be short rather than long. If it's long, Polo's going to put that down 90% of the time.
Cambio.
Now, there's no rule that if you kick it with your foot and actually make it, that it would be good, right? Because I know in volleyball that's okay.
That'd be interesting. I wish you could do that. It'd be kind of fun, but unfortunately, no. Has to be
All
contacted with the racket. Yeah.
Punto.
Jake doing a phenomenal job of making Polo actually move around the court. There's I would say, a 3 foot by 3 foot square right around the dotted line that Polo just sits in most of the time. And if you get him out of that, you have a good chance. And Jake has him moving from every corner on the court, just moving everywhere.
Punto.
Switching up his serves really well, keeping Polo off balance, and
12 sirve 10.
has now got a 2-point lead.
For, I believe, the first time so far in this match. In the game, excuse me.
Punto.
Those last 2 serves aren't your conventional Z serves. Those are coming down the middle a little more, not coming into the side wall and biting. And Polo's flicked both of them, just kind of defending and blocking him off to the front wall, getting Jake a lot of setups.
Punto.
Jake just on a roll right now. This is game point, the first game point for Jake Bredenbeck. He is pumped.
Cambio.
Polo's not going to go down that easy.
10 sirve 14.
Here's Polo's chance to rattle Jake a little bit. Nice shot from Jake. He's putting out that finger saying one more. This is the second game point for Jake here in game 1 of our final match. Remember, the winner of this match here in the finals will push through to be the #1 rank on the WRT. So there's more than just the championship these guys are playing for.
Set up.
Nice defense from Polo.
Game
and
1.
that means Jake's going to take game 1. He is pretty pumped. This is exciting for Jake. That wraps it up, game 1, 15-10. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with game 2. And we're back live here in game 2 of the Sonora Open finals match between Polo Gutierrez and Jake Bredenbeck. We saw a pretty incredible game 1. Jake with the win, 15-10, coming from behind and tying it up at 10-10, and then taking it away to seal it out at 15. And, you know, what would you say Jake has to continue capitalizing on here, Bobby?
One, Jake has to keep his serving patterns right now. If you've been paying attention, he's been switching up his serve, serving Z serves, and then mixing in that drive down the right side. Not doing too much down to the left. Second is keep Polo moving around the court.
Polo with a quick side out.
Obviously, the serve has to be a good one against him. He's going to punish you if you leave the ball anywhere near in his wheelhouse. He's going to put it down.
And first point for Polo.
1-0. Punto. 2-0. Punto.
I'd say the crowd sounds pretty split between cheering for Polo and cheering for Jake, but we want to hear from our fans at home too, so make sure you go on facebook.com/World Racquetball, and we have a post up there. Who do you think is going to take this match? Jake Bredenbeck from USA or Polo Gutierrez from Mexico? It's another early lead here for Polo in game 2. We saw something similar to this in game 1, so.
Actually, for a second there, I thought we were watching game 1. It's the almost exact same start. Jake floating balls, Polo in complete control.
Oh.
Cambio. 0-4.
Side out for Jake. And Jake's first point of the game.
Yeah, another thing I like seeing from Jake right now is he's playing a physical type game. And what I mean by physical is he's hitting the ball very hard and passing rather than going for the kill. And he's also, when he's taking swing, he's getting real big and making Polo get around him to play defense rather than just. Great get by Jake. Rather than just get small and just hit it and let Polo run around him, he's getting real wide and creating a lot of space between Polo and where the ball's going.
You think it's possible for Jake to get small?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the way he kind of positions his body.
Yeah.
I like to call it something like Charles Barkley used to do, boxing out. It's kind of a basketball move. He gets real big, puts him on his butt or around him so that Polo has to run another 3 feet. Another 3 feet in racquetball is a lot, so.
Yeah, kind of dominate that space.
Absolutely.
So the guys out there are playing with the official WRT ball. That's the Gearbox Black Ball. And Gearbox is the presenting sponsor here at the Sonora Open. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting us here this weekend.
Punto. 5-1. Punto.
Again, Polo, one get has to move outside of that middle court, and then the next 2 shots besides that, he just stands and doesn't have to move 1 step to get to the ball, and easy winners for him.
Cambio.
Polo's made his career off that game style, just plant himself in the middle and in the pinch, and he's extremely, extremely good at it.
Punto.
And another point for Jake. Jake
2-6.
is also a Reaching Your Dream Foundation supported player. The Reaching Your Dream Foundation helps support players reach their goals of playing professionally and helps them over the hump of all the money that goes into coming to these tournaments and playing. So we'd like to thank them, and I know Bobby is also one of the Reaching Your Dream Foundation supported players as well.
Yeah,
Great to see the sport of racquetball get support and grow.
The support from everybody is amazing. Obviously, Reaching Your Dream Foundation is very helpful for myself personally and to all the guys that are a part of it, and to help grow racquetball. It's great to be a part of all of this.
Check them out at reachingyourdreamfoundation.org to learn more.
Punto.
Polo comfortable there in that middle.
7-2. Nada más. Punto.
Polo pretty comfortable right now here in game 2 with a 6-point lead. You can see his confidence in his shot selection, I think, a little bit more right now.
Cambio.
Yeah, he's made an adjustment. He's not getting himself run around the court so much. He's chosen some different serves to keep himself in a better position.
Nice defense from Jake.
That was an amazing get by Jake. I don't even know how he got that going forward. I thought he was going off the back wall with it.
8-2.
And it might be a pretty close time for Jake to take a timeout. Stop this momentum. Don't let this second game get away from him completely.
Punto.
An ace from Polo Gutierrez. Yeah, that's something that I think is unique. You know, each player's individual timing here for taking timeouts and when they want to break that momentum for their opponent.
Punto.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more right there. As Jake takes a timeout right now, every player has their own, I guess, style of how they call a timeout. It's just patterns. I personally like to do it when they run a few points, 3 to 5 points in a row. I try to take a timeout. I know yesterday I was playing Polo, and Polo took some timeouts at times that I didn't think he should, but and he ended up working out. He ended up beating me, but he scored 2 points and he called a timeout, maybe to switch a glove or I don't know. And I have other friends that play, and they take timeouts only when they get back into the box.
Really?
Yeah. So it's
all about strategy and your
it's
own
just
personal connection to it, I guess.
Yeah. Some people have superstition. Some people just they have their own way of doing things. Maybe their coach has an influence on what they do, and
Absolutely.
I know that's why I do what I do. Is I've had coaches in my life that have taught me certain things, and friends that I played with, and people here, and all that stuff really factors into your decision making while you're on the court.
For those of you watching at home, don't forget next weekend we have more racquetball for you. We'll be at the San Diego Open at the Sorrento Valley Health and Racquetball Club. That'll be another exciting matchup. We have over 100 players signed up to play right now. So if you want to go ahead and sign up, go to R2 Sports and look for the link there. And here we are back in game 2. 10 serving 2.
Punto.
Jake Bredenbeck taking game 1 15-10. Now we've seen him come back from this before. He tied it up last game 10-10. Polo kind of taking away right now, game 2.
Cambio.
Can't see there with the curtain here, but that must have come off funny, or
2-11.
It was a very easy shot for Polo, and he just missed it. He doesn't miss those very often. When he does, pretty upset about it.
Cambio.
And he does not do it twice.
11-2. Punto.
Jake about a half a step away from getting that ball. Kind of a late reaction. And Polo's taking a commanding lead at 12 serving 2 here in the second game.
Punto.
So you were saying Polo seems to have adjusted to Jake's game, but it looks like Jake hasn't readjusted here to Polo's game. What do you think he needs to do to stop Polo and get some more points going?
You know, he just needs to get adjusted to the change that Polo did. So Jake's still stuck in his first game mode where he was winning the match there in the end of the first game. And Polo switched. He hasn't been pinching the ball as much. He's been hitting more lines and cross courts. And Jake hasn't really adjusted to how Polo has changed. So he needs to make sure he makes that change himself and figure out a different game style that'll work. And Polo takes game 2, 15-2.
So 15-2, second game to Polo. That means we're going to go to a tiebreaker. Jake Bredenbeck taking the first game 15-10, so we'll be right back. back here at the Sonora Open for the final match between Jake Bredenbeck and Polo Gutierrez. Bredenbeck taking game one 15-10, with Gutierrez answering back and dominating in game two 15-2. Anything can happen here. This game will determine not only the championship of the Sonora Open, but the #1 rank here on the WRT. Polo Gutierrez is currently ranked #1, and he's fighting to hold on to that title. Jake Bredenbeck is 140 points behind Polo right now. If he wins, he'll be 600 points, over 600 points ahead of Polo, and if he loses, he'll be 360 behind him. So this match will determine, this game will determine the match winner and who will move on to the #1 ranking. Looks like these guys are ready to go. Polo Gutierrez will start off serving. They have Jake with a bit of a outfit change too, now sporting all red. Let's see what happens here in the tiebreaker.
Jake going with the Sunday Tiger red today. The winner of this game will be the player that just plays this as another normal game to 11. You let the pressure get to you and you start thinking about it has to do with #1, you will lose. But if you can just execute like you do at home, playing every day, you have a very, very good chance of executing your shots, and in this case, you will win a #1 spot on the WRT.
That's one thing a lot of these guys talked about in their interviews from the quarterfinals. We were asking them who has the biggest target on their back, and it turns out it was Polo, Jake, and Cardona. And that's what they all said. Hey, nope, not feeling the pressure, just going to go in there. It's like any other game. Each one against each other and point by point. Side out for Polo. Jake there with 2 points in a row.
Jake needed to go ceiling there. He doesn't need to go aggressive. It's a very, very good ceiling ball by Polo. Very good decision on Polo, not trying to set Jake up. 2 unforced errors by Polo early on here.
2-0.
Bad skips. Although there's no good skips in racquetball. See if Jake goes drive serve, second serve. He's been doing it all tournament. That's just a great shot by Jake.
He's keeping himself pumped there as he moves up to a 3-0 lead.
3-0.
And this is kind of what I was talking about. Jake all tournament's been serving drive serves on first and second serve, especially that drive serve down the right side. I've watched him play almost every one of his matches, and he's hit that drive serve down the right wall, almost perfect on a second serve at a very high percentage.
Wow, nice shot from Jake.
Tough shot, and right when I said something, Jake goes to lob Nick to the right side.
Changes up the serve, huh?
Which is probably a good thing. You can't let Polo get too comfortable.
Polo's opportunity to get some points here, down 4 in game 3.
0-4.
Remember, this game is to 11, first to 11.
No. Punto. 1-4.
Jake getting a very lucky break off that back wall. Front wall, back wall rollout.
4-1.
Polo completely annoyed with that shot. It's very annoying to get that hit on you.
Punto.
Another point for Jake here, up again by 4 now in game 3.
Jake just on fire this tiebreaker. Hasn't missed much. He skipped one ball and hit a bunch of very, very good serves. He's up 6-1.
Una más.
He's going to go for that drive serve on the second.
I believe so.
There it is.
And again on a
And
second
an ace.
serve, drive.
Cambio.
Oh, double
Oh.
fault.
Double fault called.
Going to talk to the ref, Javier Mar.
Javier Mar saw it short. From my angle, it looked good, but we're right here on the short line, and it's kind of, the glass is difficult to see. So 1-6.
1-6. Cambio.
And another skip by Polo. Interesting to see Polo's body language right now. He's kind of has that frustrated head down a little bit more than usual.
Punto.
Very, very tough to stay in a game where Jake's hitting just bombs for drive serves. And for example, that last shot, a reverse pinch rollout, it's just deflating.
So interesting to see how it changes from game to game, too. Bredenbeck now dominating here in game 3. Very different from when Polo was dominating game 2.
Cambio.
Nice soft touch there from Polo.
Timeout, Polo Gutierrez.
But Polo's going to take a timeout.
Tiempo.
So we're going to keep it right here. And what do you think Polo needs to do here at this timeout? I mean, you know, it's one thing we always talk about is all Polo's experience and how, you know, I'm sure he's been in this situation before. So how does he break Jake's momentum right now?
You know, the timeout's a good start. Jake's been on a roll here in the tiebreaker. Polo's looking to come in, try to find a serve that he's going to get a few easy points. Maybe Jake skips one or two. For Polo, he just needs to limit his mistakes. He's made way too many skips this tiebreaker. And in a tiebreaker, a couple points here and there can mean you'll be yourself in a situation where you're down 6-1. So just Polo really needs to stay focused and not make mistakes.
Juego.
All right, looks like these guys are ready to keep battling it out here. Score is 1 serving 7.
Polo's been drive serving most of the game, and he's going to stick with it here.
Again with that corner here in game 3 for Jake.
Jake playing very solid here in the breaker. Very, very focused too. I know he hasn't won a WRT tournament yet, so that's motivation enough. And then the number one motivation is even just puts it over the top. Wow.
Wow.
It's just a great shot. Polo hits almost perfect ceiling ball that just sticks onto the side wall glass, and Jake with no problem splat rolls it.
Cambio.
Nice effort by Jake, but Polo gets that side out.
1-8. No, una más.
Short serve, I think. Crowd here calling Polo's name.
Punto.
And another point for Polo. Feeling the love from the crowd.
2-8.
Yeah, crowd definitely wanting Polo to come back.
Trying to get that chant going.
Nobody wants to see a blowout in the tiebreaker. Everybody wants to see a very close 11-10 tiebreaker.
Well, they just might get it.
And that's it right there. That's the key for Jake at the end of this tiebreaker. Don't skip the ball. Hit that down the line and make Polo step over and make a great play to try to win a point. Especially with the big lead, you don't want to give any easy points.
Another point for Jake. That makes it 9-2. He's 2 away from taking the match here.
9-2. No, nada más.
Ace serve.
Big ace for Jake, brings it to 10. That'll make it match point here for Jake Bredenbeck. He wins this. This will be his first WRT championship and will push him through to the #1 ranking and the first time the WRT has seen a USA player in #1.
Here it is. Yes, and
Wow,
Jake wins.
there it is. The super excitement there from Jake. What an exciting match between Polo Gutierrez and Jake Bredenbeck. That means Bredenbeck is the 2015 Sonora Open champion and his first championship title. He's also now the #1 WRT ranked player. First time for a USA player. We're going to take it down to the court where Rafa is going to talk to Polo and Jake. Find out how they're feeling here after the match. Let's take it down to the court.
Polo, pásale. La verdad no sé si me preguntó algo, no te oí. Bueno, primero que nada, gracias por venir. Felicidades a Jake porque es su primer WRT. Yo creo que ahorita que le dé las gracias debe agradecer también esa pared de ahí, que le ayudó muchísimo, pero ni modo, así me pudo haber ayudado a mí. En otras ocasiones me ha ayudado. Pero bueno, pues qué les puedo decir, así es esto, no somos robots, a veces ganamos, a veces perdemos, muchas veces de allá afuera a lo mejor no se dan cuenta que uno ya está cansado psicológicamente, físicamente, y el hecho nada más de empezar a calentar es pesado. Entonces, pues nos merecemos un aplauso, ¿verdad? Gracias. Pero todos los de David, todos los jugadores pasamos por lo mismo. Después de este torneo, en cuanto se acabe, en cuanto ustedes se vayan, nosotros ya nos vamos a San Diego, entonces es algo pesado. Vuelve a empezar todo, pero bueno, muchas gracias por venir. Espero que el año que entra venga más gente. Espero que el año que entra haya más problemas para meter tanta gente. Qué bueno que no fueron a misa. Espero que no hayan pecado mucho. Bueno, ya le voy a ceder el micrófono a Jake. Gracias, Rafa, por tus preguntas elaboradas. Hoy estuvieron muy bien. Aplauso para Rafa porque él piensa en inglés. Entonces está difícil, está pensando en inglés, lo traduce, saca el Google, pero hace muy buenas preguntas. Muchas gracias a todos, qué bueno que vinieron.
Gracias, Polo. Ahí tienen a Polo Gutierrez. Y ahora el ganador del torneo, Jake Bredenbeck. A la cancha, un aplauso fuerte para Jake. Como comentamos al inicio del torneo, había un pleito para el primer lugar entre 3 jugadores, que era Alex Cardona, Jake Bredenbeck y Polo Gutierrez. Ayer hubo el cambio de tercer lugar, que estaba Jake, a segundo, y ahora fue por el primer lugar. Jake, congratulations. You look determined, you were playing hard. I think you really wanted this match, and you pulled it off. So congratulations to you. Congratulations for your first WRT victory, and now the change of position to #1.
Thank you. Thank all you guys for coming out. It's awesome to come down here and play in front of all you guys cheering and stuff. So without you guys, we don't get to play this sport. Same to you, Rafa and Pablo. it's awesome to be able to play the sport you love for a living. So thank all you guys for what you guys do. Yeah, it's a good feeling to finally win one. This was my 4th final, so it's just, I don't know, it feels good to finally get that victory, and it's cool also to take the #1 spot, but for me it was more about winning the tournament. Yeah, second game, he played awesome. I was missing my shots, but I got it back in the tiebreaker and started serving well again, so it felt good to win. Yeah. Also, want to say thank you to everyone online watching. I know a lot of people back home. My parents are watching. Thanks to my girlfriend for supporting me, and everyone who helps me train.
Okay, well, there you have it, Jake Bredenbeck. I know also, Jake, your mom especially always posts, you know, go Jake, and today I think she got her wish, you got your wish, so congratulations to your family and your mom and obviously you. So thank you, Jake, congratulations. Ahí tienen el campeón de Sonora Open. Pues miren, no se vayan, que vamos a continuar.
Well, that's a big win for Jake Bredenbeck here in the finals at the Sonora Open. As we've been saying now on the court and off the court, that's his first WRT championship title, pushes him through to #1 rank on the WRT, and the first time that we've seen a USA player in that position. So congratulations to both Polo and Jake. Any final thoughts on the match, David?
I thought it was an awesome match. Jake played lights out in the tiebreaker, and I couldn't be happier for him as a friend and as a fan. Congratulations to him and Polo for both having great tournaments, and we'll see next week will be another deciding tournament for #1 again probably, so it'll be exciting next week. Everybody make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Next weekend we'll be in San Diego for the San Diego Open, where Polo Gutierrez, Alex Cardona, and Jake Bredenbeck will all be competing to move around that #1 ranking, and Bobby Horn, of course. So we'll see, that all that ranking could change again in the next few tournaments. So make sure you tune in next weekend where we have more matches and more racquetball for you. And check back with us on youtube.com/World Racquetball. If you subscribe to our channel, we'll be posting all of these matches available for you there by next week. So make sure you check that out. I'm Laura McCormick, and I'd like to thank you for watching here. And thank you, Bobby Horn, for joining me on the broadcast with your insights. Thank you all for watching. We also thank you for your patience, and we look forward to seeing you next week. So thank you, and good night from the WRT.